It's your health. Many of us sit at a desk for hours on end. During the weekend, we like to do things like ride bikes or maybe go for a run. And with leisure time comes injuries. Sports medicine specialist Dr. David Dyke says many can be avoided. Good afternoon, doctor.
Good afternoon.
So what are some of the most common weekend warrior injuries?
Well, Kelly, the ones that we see most common from our weekend warriors are sprained ankles, shin splints, ACL tears, IT band syndrome, pulled groins, concussions, and shoulder injuries.
ACL tears, that's a big one. How can people avoid those?
ACL tears can happen in people of all ages. Basically, in order to do that, you want to make sure that you're stretching very well before you go out and do any activity. Make sure that you're doing some conditioning prior to your sport. Warm up really good. And then if you do experience any kind of pain in your knee, get that checked out because it may be an ACL sprain.
What about common overuse injuries? Is that common?
Common overuse injuries would be injuries like shin splints, iliotibial band syndrome, all of which emanate from an activity that's repetitive. So we see it a lot in runners or even weekend athletes or people who are doing competitive jobs.
You gave us a couple tips about what to do before you get out and tackle the weekend. Are there other things people can do to get ready for those weekend activities?
Well, if you're going to be going out for a long run, you want to make sure at first that you get a good pair of running shoes, something that gives you support. The next thing would be to make sure that you're building your core. You strengthen those muscles that are going to be stabilizing you through your trunk, and that will help alleviate some of those future problems.
And it is summertime. Let's talk about staying hydrated.
Hydration. Yeah, especially during this time right now when we're having a lot of heat. Hydration is one of those things that sneaks up on you as an athlete. We need to make sure that we're hydrating prior to our activity, that we have access to fluids during our activity, and that when we finish, that we're trying to replace that fluid that we've lost. Our body sweats in order to cool us down, and we have to replace that.
And I do see you wearing your Team USA shirt. So tell me about your tie to the Team USA volleyball team.
Well, I've been working with Team USA for probably the last 18 years. Recently, I just returned from Belgium and the Netherlands, where I was working with the women's under 20 volleyball team. They were at the World Championships, and we did really well. The girls took 5th place.
All right, that sounds perfect. Thank you, doctor. Those are some great tips for people before they get out on the weekends to tackle those activities. For more stories just like this one, head over to our website, kctv5.com/HCA Midwest.